Okay, I didn't actually realise that hijabi blogs existed, but nonetheless, I find myself on one of them and got really excited and began to browse all these hijabi blogs that are out there. It's quite fun. Anywho, on there I found a picture, on one of the blogs, I found a picture of a bunch of women wearing scarves. Sort of, they had the scarf just draped around the face and the neck, and everything was kind of really loose, and apparently it's called the Khaleeji style. I don't know whether I pronounced it correctly. Anywho, some of the comments below had sisters asking how it was done, and that got me thinking about the style, and seeing as I really loved it on the women, I thought I would kind of recreate it in my own way. So, to wear it like that, I'm going to start off by wearing an underscarf. Any underscarf will do, whether it's a tied one or one of those tube ones, doesn't matter. The other thing you're going to need is a very nice, light, thin scarf. This isn't extremely thin, but it will work with a very thin scarf as well. It won't work with a scarf that's quite rigid and difficult to bend and wrap around, but it will work with any thin pashmina. So anywho, this one has got a fairly wide width, and you will need one with a fairly wide width. And what I'm going to do is fold it in half, like that. The reason I would recommend you do this with a wide width scarf and then fold it in half is because it's going to give you more coverage. You'll see in a moment what I mean. But anywho, that's that folded in half. Now what you're going to do is, here are the two ends, the two corners. You're going to take those two corners and you're going to pin the scarf on the back of your head like that. So, like that, you can see, here's the other half, here's the part that was folded, the scarf, and that's just going to kind of fall behind here. If your ear is here, then it's kind of falling behind there. You put the two corners at the back and pin down. So, I'm going to use a safety pin this time because it's going to make the whole style more stable. So I don't want the pins falling out and that kind of thing. And I finally found those plastic backed pins in an Islamic store. So I'm going to use one of these because this isn't going to start pulling on my scarf and create holes in it and get stuck. My scarf won't get stuck in this. So I'm going to pin that up. Right, now this bit that's kind of flapping about loose there, that also needs to be pinned back. Okay, so I'm going to hold it back like that, get another pin, so another one of those plastic backed pins, and pin this down as well. Now, what you're going to do is take the scarf around the back. Okay, and of course if you're not wearing a polo neck or if you're not wearing a scarf over here to cover your neck or whatever, this would be ideal to cover your neck with as well. So I'm going to bring it across my neck. As I bring it round the back of my head, let me turn over here so I can show you better. As I bring it round, I'm going to take this part of the scarf, part that had been folded in half, and bring it over my head. It's not going to sit perfectly on the head, you see? Because it's not going to sit like a hijab sits, which is properly on the head like a hood. It's going to kind of be quite loose, but you want that, okay? And that was one of the benefits of folding it in half, because you don't want this part to lie flat, you want a bit of volume. So the fact that it doesn't lie flat, in this case, is an advantage. So you bring it around like that. Now, what you're going to need to do at this point is, and I know it's going to get irritating, but you are going to need to pin this part down, because otherwise it will keep slipping off. So, okay, now you're going to bring the scarf. I like for one side to kind of drape my face, and then the other side to kind of go back. You'll see what I mean. So I'm going to pull this part in front of my face, excuse me, and then, pull this part in front of my face, and then, I mean, this part you don't really need to even be that careful, because the rougher you are with it, the nicer the folds will kind of lie, so you don't really need to think too much in this part. So you take this part that's loose and pull it over your head. Now you'll see this part that was kind of left flapping up. That's going to be concealed now. the part of the scarf that goes around. Now this part I'm going to sort out. I've obviously got a bit of decoration here, some flowers that I want to show, so I'm going to put it back like that. But if you don't have them, you can have it, this part come like that, you see? Actually, I think I'll keep it kind of halfway on the flowers. I'm going to pin it on this side first. And then the other side, just going to neaten up. Now this part, depending on how long your scarf is either going to be quite short, like mine is up here, or you could leave it kind of longer if your scarf's really, really long. Because this part is already draped quite low, I want for this part to be quite short, because otherwise there'll be too much happening here if this was too long, and it will just be too bit OTT. So I'm going to go like that and pin down. Now make sure that the scarf underneath is looking neat. Okay, now, I did mention at the start that you wanted a scarf with a fairly large width so that it comes in handy for coverage later, and this is where it's going to come in handy. The part that's at the front, remember you'd folded it in half, right? You're going to take the bottom part of that fold, you're going to pull it back, and I'm doing this because your neck will be exposed at the back at this point, okay? Or a little bit of your neck will be exposed. So what you do is you take the bottom part of the fold, right? Come on, I'm just showing you properly. So you take the bottom part of that fold, pull it back. I've brought round the two parts of the scarf. I'm going to put one down, overlap it with the other one, like that, and then I'm going to pin it from the inside with a safety pin. This is what it looks like from the back. See, everything's covered there. I mean, depending on how low your back is as well, you could overlap the scarf further. So further down you could overlap the scarf in order to have more coverage. So that's it. I think it's a fairly good replication of the picture that I saw. I will try and put a link of the picture in the sidebar, whichever side it's going to appear on, after I get permission from the owners of the blog. So you'll be able to do a comparison and then let me know what you think. Okay, that's it then. Toodles!